Wow. Okay, so no good deed goes unpunished, it seems. As I've been trying to teach Pat how to identify wines and how to pick up notes and write tasting notes, so today the guys have actually decided that it's my turn to face the music. So I don't know the wines. They've been selected by Dan and Pat. I don't know what they are. I have no clue. Do I get anything like, are these three... Okay, here's the question. Is this just a mixed bag of wines, or is this... all these three wines are from a particular region?
No, mixed bag.
Mixed bag. Okay, so it's a mixed bag. So the hardest one we can do, we're going to do that first. So before starting anything like this for a mixed bag of wines, what I generally do is I do this. And that is literally, write down, I break red wine into three categories: light, medium, and full-bodied. And then I fill out each of those categories with all the possibilities of reds that I know and know well enough to actually identify. Whites, I generally start at the most acidic and working their way up to the heaviest textured wines. So, for example, now this is just what I scroll down quickly. For whites, Riesling, Sauv Blanc, Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon, Fiano, Torrontés, Anais, Vermentino, Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, Verdelho, Viognier, Chardonnay. There is other ones in there as well that Viognier. Oh, sorry, I've got Viognier there. Verdelho, Viognier, and Chardonnay. There are other ones, things like Suave, which is Garganiga, would be down the bottom, so I'd add that one in. And you just basically create a sheet to sort of try and aim your direction somewhere. Gewürz is a good one. That's also that lychee thing. That would probably be in the upper areas there. So Gewürz, Trameau there. Anything else you can think of off the top of your head? Frontegnac's up there as well. Frutalexia is actually okay.
Well, you're in for a treat.
No, I'm so looking forward to the cask wine that Pat's selected for me. But in the reds, I've broken it into light-bodied, medium-bodied, and full-bodied or heavier style reds. So in the light ones, just scroll quickly, is Pinotage, Nebbiolo, Pinot Noir, and Grenache. They're all the quick ones you can do. You can actually do some of the Duro stuff as well, but you're probably just going for those ones, the major ones that you're going to find in most retail and particularly most made ones. So next part is Barbera, Shiraz, Nebbiolo, Montepulciano, Cab Franc, Sangiovese, Malbec, Sagrantino, Valpolicella, which is really Corvino, but it's just a style, and Barbera. They're the ones I just threw quickly together. There are more in the medium body. In fact, medium body consists most reds turn out in the medium body area. But the heavier ones, and I know that this first one can be put into the medium body, but I like to see a good expression of it in the fuller body ones. Merlot, Cab Sauv, Tempranillo, Mourvedre, Carignan, Amarone, Ripasso, which are again Valpolicella, but they're just stylistically different and may turn up as a different thing, and Aglianico. So again, just quickly scroll them down. If the wines aren't any of those, it should at least give me a direction of where I'm going. So whenever you're doing a mixed bag, literally what I've just done there is a really, really good way just to whack stuff down. That way your head is in the right spot to see what you're looking at. And for the most part, when you start looking at wines, you need to identify fairly quickly. And in mixed bag, giving reasoning is the big part. So literally just going through this now. Ooh. It's got some really bright fruity notes. I would say it's definitely not going to be in the lighter styles. It's probably going to be more a bit. I haven't tried it yet. But that's a heavier style, and that's a medium body style. So I've sort of got an idea of where I'm going to start with. So let's start working through it. Now, do you want me to go through it, doing it the way you did with the?
No, how you do it.
Okay. Well, for the exam, we'll just be doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Doing it for the exam, you have to do it. That way.
Yeah. But if you're just doing it to.
If I'm just doing it for fun and games.
Yeah.
I will smell it, taste it.
Yeah.
And tell you. So, with the appearance, it's literally clean. Sorry, I should say clear. Medium lemon. And really, if I'm writing this out, literally, I would do this. I'd be going, the wine's appearance is clean with medium lemon colour. That's the first sentence.
Yeah.
And that's the CIC done.
Oh, so you don't have to do it just by dot points. You can just do it like.
You actually have to do it in sentences.
Oh, okay.
They don't want to see medium plus dot dot.
Yeah.
They want to have a sentence written.
Yeah.
Okay. Nose, and literally again, the wine's aromas or nose. You can put nose. Is clean. Okay. With medium plus intensity notes of, and in brackets primary, to say that it's the grape varietal or the premium from the fruit. White flowers, and you can put in brackets floral to give the descriptor, like white flowers is the specific.
Yeah.
So, florals being white flowers is the descriptor. Citrus, particularly lemon. There's a nuttiness in there as well, like a textural nuttiness.
That indicates.
So that'll be a secondary
Yeah.
thing. So maybe oak, or it may be a malolactic sort of note. Okay, just on the taste, it's definitely not Chardonnay.
Yeah, it's not oak.
Definitely not oak, definitely not Chardonnay. So that nuttiness that I'm getting is actually coming from secondary winemaking, probably a little bit of malolactic fermentation that may or may not have been chosen to be there as well. It's really light and dry. So, not really light, but it's really dry. So, when I go to the next part, it's the SATA.
Yeah.
So, the wine is dry. That's the sweetness. With high acidity. And what sort of acidity I'm looking at? Almost a rasping acidity. Being that it really is rasping on my tongue. So it's not prickling. It's not oily. It's definitely rasping. High acidity. No tannin, so you don't even need to say it. If there's nothing there, you don't bother saying about it. I'd say a medium alcohol. Probably actually a medium plus alcohol.
It's a bit warm, isn't
It is a bit warming, but it's not hot.
Yeah.
So it's a medium plus. So you're looking at about 13 and a half for that. Medium plus alcohol. You can put in there 13 if you want to.
If you've got a good idea.
If you've got a really good idea, but I'm happy to stick with medium plus. So medium plus alcohol. It is a medium. Is it a medium minus body? Yeah, medium minus body. Medium minus body. So with it actually has a medium plus fruit intensity. Plus fruit intensity of primary notes of lemon, citrus, wildflowers, possibly elderflower.
I don't know if it's just me, but I get a little bit of candy, kind of
Get some candy.
like
notes.
sweet lemon, like.
They're like the lemon drops.
Yeah, kind of like a candy, like sugared lemon.
Yep. Possibly elderflower. Some nuttiness. I'm going to put almonds. Hey, Wacker! Due to possible minimal leaves on that one. And from there, you've essentially got that. The finish is medium, simple, lemon. Probably lemon zest for me. So that's literally the tasting note done. If you're asking for quality levels, then we'd have to do the blick.
Yeah.
If we're not asking for quality levels, we're asking what the wine is. At this point is where you need to make your association. You could go through, it doesn't have any apple, so it's Toronto's out for me. Vermentino, possibly. Uses a bit more salinity with Vermentino, which I'm not getting on this. Grigio, there is a chance it could be a Grigio, but it doesn't have any pear notes. It just seems to be more lemony. I'm actually...
That's just a Brie or...
yeah, pear is a really good one for Brie or Grigio. Honestly, Sauv Blanc, Riesling, Semillon. Fiano usually has more fruit to it. I don't think it's got
Fiano usually has more of a bit of body to it.
Yeah, Viognier and Verdelho, they're not. It's nowhere near enough body for Viognier and Verdelho. Semillon though is a really good possibility, a young Semillon. But knowing our shop, I don't think we have a young Semillon.
I think we've only got one Semillon.
Yeah, I think we've only got one Semillon, and that's like $70. Semillon Blanc though.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an expensive wine taste, by the way.
Is it? Oh, okay, that's excellent. I'm glad you told me that now. I'm going to go with a Sauv Blanc or a Semillon Sauv Blanc. Probably, I'm going to go, it's not Semillon, I can hedge my bets and say that it's a Semillon dominant Sauv Blanc.
What if we gave you a hint and told you it's left wing, it's not something...
Oh, okay. So, a lot more left wing. So,
Well, not a lot, but...
Is wine made from the grapes from Dan's house?
we don't have muscat. That's what Muscat of Alexandria should be in there too. Muscat. A bit left wing, okay.
It's not something you drink, people would buy.
People don't ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, if I was looking for a crisp, dry white that is eminently drinkable, my first initial thing is Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, because it's got sort of elderflower and floral notes, as well as that Semillon, and it's got the acidity of Sauv Blanc, but it's got the Semillon notes to it as well.
Is that the lemony?
Yeah, that's the lemony sort of citrus thing you get, the lime particularly. Would it be a field blend?
No.
No, it is definitely a single.
It's a straight.
Straight? No, it's straight, is it? Okay, well, literally from this, if I doing a tasting note, I would say due to the rasping acidity and hints of white and elderflower, I would suggest Sauv Blanc component with the lemon, lime, citrus of Semillon. Probably would I would actually I would say literally, and I'll say this even though the clues,
Semillon Sauv.
I'd say Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, the Semillon dominant
Blend.
SSB. Now, irrespective of whatever the wine is, the marks I would pick up for that will probably pass me.
Yeah.
I'd probably go maybe. Have we done this one?
No.
No,
We had?
not.
We've done the
We have had
varietal.
this before.
We haven't had this one, but we've had the varietal before.
Okay, rightio. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it going through. No. Well, you just told me it wasn't those, it wasn't that, it wasn't that. I must have forgotten to write which one it was.
No, it's not written down.
What the hell is it?
We'll tell you at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
we can bring him out now.
No, just tell me what it is and we'll
Alright,
work
so it's Winery of Good Hope, Chenin Blanc.
Oh, the Chenin. Oh, that was, yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Chenin Blanc, and guess what? That's in that lighter area,
Yeah.
fruit driven. That's actually a really good expression of a Chenin Blanc. Generally, Chenin Blanc will be a lot more textural and a bit heavier, especially if it's made in Australia, but
Where's Winery?
Winery of Good Hope, South Africa. So this is a South African wine that you've shown me, which is great. I mean, it's like
It is quite good.
it's literally, but it's a really lovely wine.
I haven't had it before. I quite like it.
Since it's made.
Put it this way: if you're having it from France, this would be a Vouvray from the Loire Valley.
Yeah.
Would be a really good thing. No Vouvray would look like that. Though.
Yeah.
That is a really light, dry version of a Chenin Blanc, which normally has some body and texture, but that nuttiness is probably one of the things I should have looked into a bit more.
Yeah.
So, but again,
It was a Blanc. You were going for Blanc.
yes, I was definitely in the Blancs. Well, yeah.
Because the other one I was something to do was the Blanc Squared, but we've done that before.
Yes, we have done that before.
I did want to pull out the Sauvignon, the straight Sauvignon.
Yeah, but that's when you were standing in front of that door of the fridge for a while when you were watching
He
us.
knows where we are.
Yeah.
But that is it.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like a little mini essay. Just,
Yep.
You just got to cover your
But the whole
points.
essay-
Cover the points with the SATA,
Yep.
BFF, whatever.
You cover all your points,
Yeah.
but then you've got to relate your points back into here.
Yeah.
If you don't relate your points
So
back into
basically,
here,
it's your pretty much a hypothesis versus your
Yeah.
conclusion.
So no, the hypothesis and your conclusion is at the end. This
Yeah.
part here is actually your
Oh yeah,
what you found in the experiment. So literally, the hypothesis is the wine is a white wine or something.
Yeah.
Blah. Actually, if you gave that to me and said it's a Sauvignon Blanc from somewhere like West Australia, I'd have been quite happy with that.
well, I was originally going to go with the Thompson Estate, Sauvignon Sauv,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're standing in front of that fridge. Good.
Yeah, it actually is good because, and this isn't being mean to any South African wineries, but over the years I've drunk a lot of South African wine, and most of it is very unclean.
Smoky.
Well, no,
Meaty.
Pinotage is smoky and meaty.
I was described as wild.
Yeah,
it
it
tastes like the jungle.
It tastes like that. Well, yeah, but I find this is actually quite on point. I reckon they've improved.
See, I thought that was an Australian. I thought that was like a Tasmanian or a Mornington Peninsula one when I got it.
But
And
it's
red,
definitely on point.
the red's the Pinotage.
Yeah.
Actually, I better just clean my palate off because we're about to do reds now. So yeah, going from that and going with these, particularly between those two, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
clean.
You can see Andrew's having a tasting, we're having a drinking.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't have a masking.
Mm.
Rightio. So, can't believe I forgot Shannon. I'm kicking myself now. Because Chenin Blanc is actually a really good. I love Chenin Blanc. We've got 3 of them.
It's a weird varietal that no one really looks for, but it's a good one to upsell to, especially if people are looking to break away from like Sauv Blancs or want to diversify a bit.
Definitely. Okay, next one. Let's put a purple hue to it. So, literally, the wine's appearance is clear. Battery's running out. Is clear. Is it deep purple? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'll go deep purple. Probably, actually, that's probably going a little bit far. The meniscus is a little bit lighter. Medium plus or deep. I'll go deep. But it is definitely purple, which usually purple is a sign of generally a young wine. Usually it's vibrant and young. If this turns out to be a 2012 something or other, then
Shoot me.
it's probably the greatest wine ever made. Anyway, okay. The wine's nose. Please note my writing, Pat. This is a terrible writing. If you do this in the exam, you'll fail.
They have to be able to read it.
You have to be able to read it.
Yeah.
Well, it's clean, which is good because if you pulled out a natural wine
Yeah.
and I stuck my nose in that, it would have been like zesty. Yeah. So, yeasty. But yeah, I must admit though, it's definitely a medium plus intensity. It's got some really nice fruit to it. It's got some, again, try to keep yourself in primaries. So primary notes of berries and blackberry, or you can put black fruit actually. Black fruit,
Well, not these days, but
blackberry. Indigenous fruit, I don't know.
First Nations fruit.
Actually, it's got some blue fruit in there too, actually. Quite like it. Blue fruit, blueberry. But it's got that lovely secondary notes of cedar, of oak, cedar, and vanilla. Not butterscotchy vanilla, not American oak vanilla, but definitely that French vanilla. French oak vanilla.
So that would that suggest more money involved?
Usually
French oak?
it would suggest that there would be more investment in oak.
Yeah. So it'd be newer barrels, but French oak.
New French oak barrels, yeah. But it's probably a portion, and because it's not overwhelming, there's a chance that there might be like a 30%, or it might only be 8 months in, or maybe 12 months in.
In new barrels.
In new barrels.
Yeah.
But it's probably a blend of new and old oak together. But like the wine smells beautiful. Yeah, I mean it was the cedar of oak. That's a secondary. Tertiary notes. It's pretty young. It's pretty bright and vibrant.
Yeah.
So I don't see any real micro-oxidation in there like we had with that wine the other day that was brought back. There's none of those.
No porty notes.
No port notes. There's no fortified notes. There's no jamminess to it. The fruit hasn't been sitting in the bottle to get really jammy. So whatever this is, I'm now going to hedge my bet and say it's a young something. And whatever. Let's go through that from there. Right. So the wine palette is yum. My initial drive was straight to Cabernet, but because you people are bastards, I don't think it is. Honestly, if I was just doing this blind, I'll be going, the wine's palate is dry.
A little bit of chalkiness.
Yeah, it is nice. It's really good. It's just money gone into this one, has it?
This is one Pat picked, I think. So.
You've chosen well. If it's the cheap dog, if it's Jacob's Creek, I'm sorry. If this is Jacob's Creek, I love this one, but I don't think it is somehow.
I'm calling back.
Yeah, call them back saying.
Yeah, we're going to widen the.
I was going to choose Jacob's Creek, but I knew they wouldn't replace it.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Okay, the palate is dry. Actually, it's got a fairly high acidity, so it's a medium plus acidity for me. And I'd say it's not a prickling acidity, but it's not nothing. I won't actually describe it because I really don't. It's sort of just a banal general acidity. With medium acidity, tannin-wise, so it's interesting. Medium plus, rounded
cabana
tannins.
cheese kind of flavour to it.
Okay, yeah. So you might notice on this one, the tannins are there. You can feel them in the palate.
Yeah.
You can get them across there, but they're rounded tannins. There might be hints of chalk. You could even say hints of chalk in there as well. But that's a really bold, rounded tannin structure. Alcohol is high.
Which would suggest proper winemaking.
Yeah. Or proper viticulture at least to get a good one. High alcohol, so I'm looking at it's at least 13.5 to 14, maybe 14.5%. High alcohol. Also, if I'm cheating slightly, because it is fruit forward and it does have a fleshy palate from my palate, I would go this as New World wine, which is generally going to be in the medium plus to high alcohol because it's just warmer. Now let's have a look at the body. Medium plus body. I'd actually go medium plus. Flavour intensity of blackberry. And again, you should really, I'll do that incorrectly. I'll do this correctly. Primary notes, black fruits, blackberry in brackets. I do get slight herbal notes of sage, do get some. I do get some blue fruits, which is unusual for the wine for me. Blue fruit, blueberry. With secondary notes of oak, cedar, vanilla. If you wanted to talk about malolactic fermentation, you could, but most reds are malate, so there's not really any point.
Yeah.
And no tertiary notes. Now, we've talked previously about the quality of wine being the balance of primary, secondary and tertiary notes, and if there's no tertiary notes, sometimes it can be a little unbalanced. This wine is actually beautifully balanced. It's a really lovely wine. If I was going to put it into the blick and quality thing, I'd probably put it up there. Probably not outstanding, or exceptional or outstanding or superb, but I'd actually put it as very good. I think the wine is well made.
What price point would you?
This is the hard part, because in Australia, a price point I'd probably put it at, I'd be happy to pay $30.
Yeah.
If it was $20, big yay. If it's $15 or $10, I can sign me up for a case.
If it's $9.
If it's $9, outstanding. Well done, Yaron. Good accounting. But no, again,
That's $9 for Yaron.
Jacobs Creek.
Yeah, Jacobs Creek. If it is Jacobs Creek, then I'm really impressed. And don't be surprised that lower end wines, in particularly good vintages, or if they got a really good plethora of grapes, let's say it's a really good vintage, and everyone's got great grapes, then your lower end wines will benefit greatly from it, because people are like, wow, it's amazing. In really hard years, like 2011, even with declassified grapes, you only declassify down usually a step, maybe two at best. Your entry-level wines are still going to be pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
So vintage variation is really important. Now, as this is quite young, this is probably going to be an 2018, I'm guessing. 2018, maybe 2019. It doesn't seem to. If it was 20, it must only have just been released. But so as I feel it's a heavier style of wine, I'm ending up with a Cabernet. And if I was going to try and pull it out of these notes to say, actually, just say the finish. So finish
heavy tannins
is actually it's
rounded tannins.
Yep, long
Blue fruits.
with some complexity of black and blue fruit and oak. Okay, so now let's have a look at the wine. What wine do I reckon it is? Due to the black fruits, oak use, and higher acidity, and you can even cite and some herbal quality, along with high alcohol. I would venture it is a Cabernet. Am I close?
You got it
Yep.
red. It's red.
It's red. Oh, that's a good start.
Yeah, it's got grapes.
It's got grapes. It's a good start.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Mm.
it's not Shiraz. Not a Cabernet. It's a Shiraz.
Really?
Yep. And it's not a straight Shiraz.
Oh, weird.
It's a Shiraz Viognier.
It's at the Yolanda.
Yep.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's a really good
I haven't had it before in it.
I would have picked that as. I probably would have gone with Shiraz.
See, I had to double check. I thought my glasses got switched around. I was like, yeah.
I suppose that the thing I actually was wrong with, purple, is actually an indicator of young wine and Shiraz. Particularly on Shiraz.
But if I didn't know what that was, I would have gone with a Shiraz, but I probably would have gone like McLaren. It's got quite juby.
I was going like Cabernet.
Hold on. So going back into it, I'm not getting any of the violets that I normally see in Shiraz Viognier. Usually I see lifted violets and listed aromatics for it, but the
Let Jane know her wine's gone bad.
Yeah.